Good afternoon to our viewers in Asia and hello to others watching from around the world. Welcome to Arirang News Break. I'm Han-dan in Seoul. Let's start right off with today's top story. President Park Geun-hye has wrapped up her 8-day trip to North America and is currently heading home. The South Korean leader opened the door to greater bilateral trade with Mexico and cemented support from the global community on curbing North Korea's nuclear ambitions in Washington. Our Song Ji-sun, who traveled with the president, has a wrap-up of her trip.
In her first overseas trip of the year, President Park Geun-hye focused on security and the economy, two themes she has emphasized since the beginning of the year. Ahead of the Nuclear Security Summit in Washington, President Park sat down with the leaders of the United States, Japan, and China to reaffirm their cooperation against provocations from North Korea.
저는 미일 두 정상과 함께 국제사회가 북한의 도발을 결코 좌시하지 않을 것이며 만약 북한이 또다시 도발을 감행한다면 북한은 더욱 강력한 제재와 고립에 직면할 수밖에 없을 것임을 다시 한번 경고합니다.
At the summit, she said North Korea's accumulation of weapons-grade nuclear material, which goes against all of its international commitments, is a direct challenge to the global community. Over in Mexico City, President Park shifted gears to business, laying a foundation for a resumption of long-stalled negotiations on a Korea-Mexico free trade agreement. This comes 8 years after talks came to an abrupt stop following opposition from Mexico's automobile and steel sectors.
멕시코는 우리의 중남미 지역 최대 교역국이지만 양국 간 교역 및 투자를 확대해 나갈 여지는 여전히 매우 크다고 봅니다. 이 실무 협의에서 양국이 윈윈할 수 있는 창의적 방안을 마련하는 등 좋은 결실을 거두기를 기대합니다.
A business forum and one-on-one consultations were held on the sidelines to allow Korean business leaders the opportunity to speak with local buyers. Korean startups fostered at Seoul's new innovation centers were among the companies that sealed deals worth $86 million at the event. President Park will arrive in Seoul on Wednesday, just a week before the general election, which could determine whether her policy initiatives will get a boost or face parliamentary challenges. Song Ji-sun, Arirang News.
With just a week left until a general election, party leaders are scrambling to drum up support for their candidates with a particular focus on areas that traditionally favor their rivals. Ruling Saenuri Party Chief Kim Moo-sung was out campaigning in Jeollabuk-do Province, a traditional opposition stronghold, and is currently making his way around Chungcheongnam-do Province to convince swing voters. Main opposition Minju Party of Korea interim chief Kim Jong-in is campaigning in the capital region, where the election will likely be decided. And minor opposition People's Party co-leader An Cheol-soo also ventured out into rival party territory, campaigning in Gyeongsang-do Province, the ruling party's home turf. On the public opinion front, news media and survey outlets have until the end of the day to release their polling data. Rules set by the National Election Commission say the information cannot be published or broadcast in the 6 days before the election, though media outlets can cite polls taken before the deadline. Over in the United States, it was a victorious day for Ted Cruz and Bernie Sanders, who swept the presidential primaries in Wisconsin on Tuesday. The Texas senator scooped up 48% of the vote, with 97% of the ballots counted as of 2:40 p.m. Korea time. This has put the brakes on the momentum of Republican frontrunner Donald Trump, narrowing his chances of securing the 1,237 delegates needed to win the nomination and avoid a contested convention. Trump came away with 35%, followed by Ohio Governor John Kasich with 14%. Over on the Democratic side, Sanders extended his winning streak to capture the primary with roughly 56% of the vote to the 43% garnered by his opponent, Hillary Clinton. Corporate investment by the nation's 30 top business groups jumped in 2015. According to market research company CEO Score, the combined investment amount was over 76 trillion won last year, or roughly 66 billion US dollars. That's up almost 18% from a year ago. The amount does not include spending on research and development. The investments were led mainly by the country's three biggest groups, namely Samsung, Hyundai Motor, and SK. Their combined investment last year was nearly $43 billion, which accounts for over 65% of the total. Today could be the last chance we have to enjoy the peak of the cherry blossom season here in Korea, as rainfall heavy enough to knock the blossoms off the branches is expected across the country tonight and into tomorrow afternoon. The rain will start falling later today on Jeju Island and along the southern coast, with heavy rainfall of over 100 millimeters expected overnight, along with lightning and gusty winds. Seoul and the surrounding area will just see a light sprinkling of about 30 millimeters starting tonight. Skies will start to clear up tomorrow afternoon, and the mild spring weather will be back with us. And that does it for this edition of Arirang News Break. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with more headlines at 10 a.m. Korea time tomorrow. Stay tuned to Arirang for more news throughout the day.